Cool. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Back for the second installment of the Sabbath service lesson after intermission. We're going to kick it off with the title of the breakdown: What will happen after America is destroyed, or life after America? All right. We always go into the destruction that's going to happen to this place. And then that's it. Nobody really knows the breakdowns or the precepts about the detailed account about what's going to happen after America is destroyed in chronological order. So you want to go through this thing in order based off of the various precepts you'll put together and paint the picture on how things are going to actually go down after the downfall of America. So let's kick it off with the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50. Let's go to verse 8. Right? Let's go into Jeremiah 50 and 8, dealing with this place being utterly destroyed and utterly wiped off the face of the earth. America's on a ticking time bomb, and the Most High is about to pull this card on this place, and lights and the candles going to be out. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 8. Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans. Right, meaning separate yourself from this society. And be as the he goats before the flocks. Go on. We're going to read on to verse 12. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of the great nation from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrow shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. The Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. Right. Now, the Lord tells you what nations are going to be the main antagonists against America, right? These nations from the North Country. Sometimes in the Bible, the North Country or the land of the North is America. Sometimes it's not. Obviously, this isn't America's not the North Country, because it's going into the destruction of America. So the North Quarters of the North Country is speaking about Russia and its allies that come with it. So these are going to be the main enemies to take down America. America has lesser enemies like North Korea, Iraq and these other nations, but Russia, they're the top superpower in the world who's actually going to destroy this place and be the last Edomite kingdom as Gog and Magog in prophecy. Go on. Verse number 11. Because you were glad, because you rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifers at grass, and bellow as bulls. All right, we don't get one more. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed, because the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. So this place is going to be a desert. You see all of the skyscrapers, all of the buildings, right? All of the bridges, the infrastructure, the Capitol buildings, right? It's going to be utterly burnt with fire, thermonuclear destruction. And America will go down, and you won't be able to come back to this place. It's going to be non-inhabitable, right? No man will ever be able to set foot on the soils of America again. You'll fly in your chariot. You'll see this place. You'll tell your son, this was Babylon the Great. He'll say, what? And you'll say, it doesn't matter, son. We in the kingdom of heaven. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. This is the top kingdom right here. The glory of all the kingdoms. The beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So when the Lord overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, it was never inhabited, man. It's waste, right? And it reads, and it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelled in from generation to generation. So like the brother was going into, man, you're not going to sit there and then see people setting up houses, right? See a lake, see a river, see a sea, streams of water, grass. This place is going to be utterly destroyed. Neither shall the Arabian pitch the tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there. It's going to be like a desert land. And their houses shall be full of dollar creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and strix and shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. You see that? Her time is near to come. Everybody around the world, they know America's over, man. They can see it spiraling down the drain. right? China's laughing at America. This big capital building situation put America, they was already on the front line, but now they're the joke. They're the comedian of the society, man. Everybody knows this place is over except the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. Here you have, we just read this place, this time is there to come, and the day shall not be prolonged. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 51 and 1. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. And I will send unto Babylon banners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Right. What is that destroyer wind? It's not a hurricane, right? It's not a tornado. What is it, brother? The nuclear wind, right? Nuclear destruction. That's the destroyer wind that's coming to this place. They show you that in the movies. When those bombs drop, that wind residue that burns down all of the buildings, blow out all of the glass of the windows, and make the place uninhabitable. Huh? That's the destroyer wind, and the nations are the fanners. And they're going to heat up that wind. Huh? They're going to escalate it. Let's go on. Verse 2. It says, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. Right. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Against him that lifteth himself up. And the Bernaline, Salakia, it said, and spread of ye not for her young men. Destroy ye utterly all her host. See that? What is a host? The army, man. Utterly destroyed. The so-called white man's Coast Guard is over with, man. His Air Force, his Marine Corps, his Army, whatever branch of military, his Space Force he just made, hey, it's lights out for him, man. Right? The Most High is going to utterly destroy their entire host with the other nations, and chiefly with, Hamashiach himself with the millions of chariots. Right? So here in the Bible, Jeremiah 51, you may think it's talking about ancient Babylon, because you see the word Chaldea. So hold on, you don't have Chaldean. I never went to a job and somebody told me they're a Chaldean. Maybe this is talking about ancient Babylon. No, you got to look at it in the spirit, huh? You got to look at these things with your spiritual eyes to be able to break down through process of elimination. What country is the Most High talking about? There are key words and key phrases that should, what's the word I'm looking for? Grab your attention to let you know that, hold on, this don't fit ancient Babylon. The glory of kingdoms, the top nation on the earth. Hold on now. This is America. So through the precepts and through spiritual understanding, you would understand that this is speaking about the land you live in now. That's right. And going into bending that bow, man, that's nuclear destruction. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 7, right? And verse number 12. It says, if he turn not, he will whet his sword. He have bent his bow and made it ready. That bow being bent is that nuclear destruction, man. Right? The missiles, them nukes. It said, he have also prepared for him the instrument of death. What's the instrument of death, man? When them bombs hit, it's taking out cities. It's taking out whole states, man. That's the instrument of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutor, man. Right? The so-called white man is the persecutor. He the one locking you up, killing you, raping and ravishing you on an everyday basis, man. Right? It says, behold, he travaileth with iniquity and have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. And that's all he does. Right? You got it. That's right. Let's go to Jeremiah 51 and 28. Right? Jeremiah 50 and 51 are mighty chapters, man. Back-to-back chapters with the downfall. Basically, it's the Lord talking a lot of mess, man. The Lord talking this talk, man. And he telling you what he going to do to this place. Jeremiah 51 and 28. It's the book of Jeremiah. 27, it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 27. Set ye up a standard in the land. Blow the trumpet among the nations. And that's us blowing the trumpet. Prepare the nations against her. Call together against her the kingdom of Iraq. Right, Ararat, that's modern day Turkey. You're not going to see words like China in the Bible, Pakistan, Russia. Right? It's not going to say that. Stop looking for it. They keep saying Russia. They keep saying these other countries. I don't see it in it. I went to the concordance. It's not going to be in it. You have biblical names given to the people of the earth right now. Huh? Not going to see black people get taken up in a spaceship, right? So Ararat is modern day Turkey. That's what Noah's Ark landed in modern day Turkey. Robert on King. Ararat, many that's modern day Armenia, and Ashkenaz. Ashkenaz, the brothers know what that is. Germany. Yeah, there you go, brother. Modern day Germany, right? That's why you have people called the Ashkenazi Jews, because a lot of them Edomites, they're from Germany, Poland, Romania, right? Eastern Europe. Ashkenaz, appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes. And it's not speaking about the ancient Medes. You had a man by the name of Darius the Mede, but these are your modern day Medes. Your modern day Egypt is America. Your modern day Median Empire are the Russians who have that land, right? And the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble, and sorrow for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. Right? You got something? No, you got it. Let's go to Revelation 17 and 16.
So you said, can you say last word? But you say what many and Ashkenaz?
Armenia and Germany.
Armenia.
Yep. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So now we're getting kind of specific now. We talked about the brother brought into the missiles, the nuclear wind and destruction. Now we kind of naming the countries that's going to get involved in this thing, right? Right? Now we're naming the 10 horns. The 10 horns is what? Your European Union. Right? There's over 20 countries in the European Union, and we're not going to name them all. Right? But you can look it up on your own. You can look up Spain, Italy, Germany, Luxembourg, Denmark, and the list goes on and on. France, right? And then you can go through those 10 horns, but there's other nations that are going to hate America. Right now, America allies with these countries, but again, something's going to happen in the near future where these countries are going to withdraw themselves from their diplomacy with America and, hate this whore, huh? And eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right. Yes, something else? Nah. All right, let's get one more on the destruction of America. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 11 and 29. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 11 and verse 29. And it reads, and when they so thought, behold, there awaketh one of the heads that were at rest. This one head at rest is America. You had nations, when you read this account, that wanted to rise up, like France, like Slovakia, England, Spain. When they thought to rule, America rose up in power and took them down. You can read about that in Daniel 7th chapter. Namely, it's that was in the midst, but that was greater than the 2 other heads. So you have 3 heads, which are the last. It's like you have 3 heads, which are the last Edomite kingdoms to rule the earth. This head that's the greatest of the 2 other heads is America. And you're going to say, well, it don't say America. Let's read it. And who else is going to fit this prophecy? Verse 30. And then I saw that the 2 other heads were joined with it. And behold, the head was turned with them that were with it, and did eat up the 2 feathers under the wings that would have reigned. Yeah, America took down Spain, they took down France, they took down Great Britain that would have reigned. America took them down. But this head put the whole earth in fear. Put the what? Put the whole earth in fear. Right. And bear rule in it over all those that dwell upon the earth, which much oppression. And it had the governance of the world more than all the wings that have been. Right. So America oppresses the entire earth. And they have governance over the earth more than any other Edomite kingdom. Before you had different kings that came out of Rome. They never ruled like America rules, man. You had other Edomite kingdoms. You had the Holy Roman Empire, right? You had the Byzantine Empire. You had all types of kingdoms, but nobody ruled like who? Like the Babylonians, man. They oppressed the whole earth. They got military bases everywhere, dropping bombs on hospitals, snatching up kids, turning them into sex slaves, human trafficking, harvesting organs, bombing your house, kicking your door down. Right? They oppress the earth, man.
Does that kind of tie into what you was talking about last night with the gold, the silver, the bronze, and the
yeah, America. That goes in the Daniel 2nd chapter with the 10 toes, right? With the EU to have an allegiance with the beast. We can go on. Verse number 32, Salakia. Verse number 33. And after this I beheld, and lo, the head that was in the midst right. Suddenly. America that was in the midst suddenly appeared no more, like as the wings. But there remained the two heads, which also, which also in the like sort ruled upon the earth, and those that dwell therein. Right. So suddenly America is going to be destroyed like a thief in the night. Right. The Lord said, fire and brimstone should be rained upon him while he is eating. So these last the top three Edomite kingdoms on the earth right now are the EU, Babylon the Great, and Russia. These are your top three heads. All right. But America is going to be suddenly destroyed by the different nations that we named, the EU, Russia, Iran. You can even read about the kings of the East in Revelation, the 16th chapter. All right. America has few allies left in the last days. They have more enemies than allies. There used to be a time when everybody wanted to be a friend of America, not do trade. You understand? Set up enterprise with them, right? But now America, everybody's against them. They call it the Great Satan. They're chanting death to America. They're burning American flags all over the news. Everybody sees that nowadays. So everybody is against America in the last days, right? Now, let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and 17, right? Revelation, the 16th chapter, the 17th verse. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 17. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, "It is done." So once this seventh angel goes and gives his decree, it's going to be done. What's going to be done? Everything, all of the prophecies, all of the judgments, everything is going to be fulfilled. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. And the great city was divided into three parts, and the city of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before Yahweh to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. See that? So and it's not literally divided into three parts. Three just means what? There you go. It's going to be completely destroyed. Babylon is going to be divided into three parts. And that great earthquake is not because you got the tectonic plates and they kind of shifting and then it's a fault. No, it's the missiles, man. Like the Lord said in Isaiah 24, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, man. When all of these missiles begin to hit the earth is not meant to take all of that, man. You're going to have earthquakes and tidal waves and tsunamis and all types of destruction is going to fall out. Nuclear fallout. You know, that's not a metaphor. The earth is literally going to reel to and fro like a drunkard. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven. Those stars is the missiles, right? It's going to fall from the heavens. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. What are the powers of the heavens? These different kingdoms. Right? They're going to all be shaken like the brother going into reeling to and fro, man. The earth not meant to be taking all of this. All of the different powers, right? When you 2,000 miles that way, 100,000 miles that way, it's going to be nothing but bombs and shaking the earth all up. That's right. We can read on because it's going to lead on to the after. And then, verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. So World War III is going to be reaching its peak. Then you'll begin to see Yahweh Shah. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Right? And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the one end of the earth to the other. So the elect, let's go to Isaiah 45:4, are the Israelites, man. So the angels are going to be given the green light to go ahead to beam up the elect. All right. Once the elect are beamed up, then Revelation 16:17 or down is going to be fulfilled. It's going to be utterly destroyed. We're going to be in the chariots, and you're going to see all of the missiles and the chariots destroy America. It may be this close to you, like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Here come the missiles, and all of a sudden you're getting beamed up. The Lord said the righteous shall scarcely make it, man. You're not going to be in the chariots and you up there for 4 weeks. All right, here go the missiles. They finally hit. It ain't going to work like that. You're going to kind of barely make it out of here, man. That's 1 Peter the 4th chapter. The missile may be this close to your nose, like, Lord save me, then you get caught up in the chariot. Or you may see that fire from the missile, and get beamed up right when you see it coming for you, man. That's right. Or Salaki, you might even be in a FEMA cap and not even know the missile's coming. You got your head in the guillotine, like, I don't know what's going to happen, Then the damn guillotine and the blade stop right there. Then you get beamed up in a chariot, right? Then the Esau, oh, where is he going? And they cursing out the Most High and taking out their guns, trying to shoot the chariots, throwing rocks at it. Wicked Jake going to be scoffing. Look at them damn spaceships, man. Everybody it's going to be crazy out there, man. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse number 4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I have called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. You see that? So the Lord called Israel his elect. So the Lord is only coming to save Israel, man. The elect, the Edomites are not the elect, man. The Hamites, the Ishmaelites, none of these heathen are the elect. We just read that Israel, mine elect. So the angels are going to beam up the elect, not just in America. The angels are going to beam up. If you're the elect and you're in Russia, you're going to get beamed up. If you're in Afghanistan, you're going to make it out of that thing. Huh? If you somewhere on a remote island in the Pacific Ocean, you're going to make it out of that thing. That's right. And Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, is tying into what we read too. Because we're going to get beamed up like the brother's son. It's a book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such hath afflicted him. Right, when all hell kind of breaking loose, man, we're going to stand up, man. Right, we're going to be in the FEMA caps, Lord willing, going strong, right, spitting in Esau face, right, calling on the Lord, man, right? And it says, great boldness before the face of such hath afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. When Esau and these other nations, they see us getting beamed up, they see the spaceships, right? They see the Lord's chariots. They're going to be confounded, man. Like we always bring out, this that nigga that used to work for, right? This that nigga that used to work for me, man. Right. I was telling him, pushing a mop bucket, right? I was firing him. I told him to get out of the store, right? I jumped him, right? The Chinese man going to be like, this the one that was in aisle 8 all the time, right? And she getting beamed up, right? They say the strangest of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for, and they repented, and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had in sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. Meaning this one that we was calling a nigga, a fool, man, right? A Negro, right? Nothing. This was he, right? Verse 4. We fools accounted his life madness. Meaning when they pull over to the side of the road and see us, man, right, huddled up under that bus stop, they're like, man, his life is nothing. Right. He's trash. He's nobody, right? It says, we fools counted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God? Like the brother bringing out the elect. And his lot is among the saints. That's right. Yeah, that's beautiful, man. It says, we fools counted his life madness. Because they think you crazy, man. They think you got a demon on you. You bugged out. You in a cult. You in a hate group. You in a black racist hate, the separatist group. And they thought you just going to be that and then just maybe go to jail, might die. They just thought your end would be without honor. They thought you might be in a damn black hate group till you get locked up, right? That's how they think about you, man. You know, they think our end is going to be without honor, but the Most High going to show them otherwise, man. And the brother went into, you know, their mentality of us getting beamed up. You know, this going to happen fast. Some thoughts, it's going to happen just like that, man. Mm-hmm. Quick conversation in their head till the missiles come. Right? So America is going to be destroyed by these many nations, And then we're going to get beamed up in the chariots and see the destruction of Babylon the Great. Let's go to Revelation chapter 20 and 14. Right? Revelation 20 and 14. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse number 14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. See that? So the lake of fire is not a place underground. Let's be clear, man. Let's put that out there. It's not a fiery inferno where you go if you're a bad person. And you have a red man down there with long horns and a pitchfork, like the brother said, and you just burning forever, man. Tail. Yeah, with a tail, with the arrow in the end, man. Right? So people will want you to believe that, right? We'll do a breakdown on hell one day. I'll show you the origin of hell, where it came from, why people believe it exists to this day. But when it says the hell, do brothers know what that's talking about? By show of hands. Nope.
Can't hell be another term for death or grave?
The grave. That's what it is. Death and hell were cast into the lake of fire.
I don't remember exactly where it is, but it's like a precept that said like and hell followed.
In Revelation, the 6th chapter, 6-8 on down. Right? So hell is the grave. So for the Israelites, death and hell is no longer going to have an effect on you. It's going to be destroyed. Now for the other nations, they're still going to experience death and hell. But the elect, death and hell is going to be destroyed. The Most High said he would destroy your enemy. And our last enemy is what? Death. Death is our last enemy that is going to be put in the grave, just like the so-called white man. Right? And if you're not part of the elect, you're going to be thrown in the lake of fire, which again is not a place underground, but it's just a symbolism for the destruction on the earth. All right? You got to see when John was up there in the heavens, when he saw the destruction on America and the other parts of the earth, it literally looked like a lake of fire. But people taking that concept and they applied, Greek mythology into it and other ancient stories and made it what you know it of today. Right, and it's the account right here, right? It's the book of Revelation, chapter 15, right, in verse number 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of Yahweh. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. Brothers know what that sea of glass mingled with fire is? Firmament, right? Us looking down from the firmament, right? That sea, you gonna get that in Job? Yeah. Come. It say, and I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them, meaning the Israelites, that have gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name, Salakia, stand on the sea of glass having the harps of God. That sea of glass is the firmament. So we get beamed up like the brother bringing out, we're going to see all of that nuclear destruction. It's going to look like a damn lake of fire. It's going to be so much. It's going to be so broad. It's going to be so filled. Like when you in the middle of a sea, man, that's all you see is the water. And when you get beamed up, that's all you're going to see when you look down is fire. Like it's a lake, man. Right. That's the precept for the glass. The book of Job, chapter 37 and verse 18. Right? Job, chapter 37 and 18. It reads, hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong and as a molten looking glass. See that? So you're going to be above that and you're going to see that destruction on the earth. It's going to seem like that fire is touching the firmament. 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, Peter said, well, the heavens being on fire, man. And the elements melt with burnt with fervent heat. So that fire is not going to be a small thing. Right? The Most High did destroy Egypt in secret, man. It was a big thing and everybody knew about it. And how much more the new Egypt, man? This destruction, everybody's going to get word on. Everybody's going to see it, man. The Lord said in Revelation 1 and 7, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. Even so, amen. So everybody's going to see this destruction of America. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 7 and verse 11. And the 600th year of Noah's life, and the 2nd month, and the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. So what is windows? Glass, right? So over that firmament, like even in the ancient world, the windows of heaven will open up, right? So going back to Revelation 15,
Right.
right? It's Revelation chapter 15 and verse 2. And I saw it as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory, right? And we're gonna be turning up in them chariots, man. Looking down, seeing all of this nuclear destruction, and you got the win over the beast, his image and the mark, right? And over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Yahweh. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty, just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. So we're gonna be praising the Lord in the chariots, man. We're willing.
That's right.
And we got the precept on that. Let's go to Psalms 126 and 1.
You're right.
So we're going through the order chronologically. America being destroyed. Now we're us getting beamed up in the chariots, right? Psalms chapter 1. And you're not going to be in a chariot board. Ah, boy, what the hell? It ain't going to be like that, man. We're going to read about it in Psalms chapter 126 and verse 1, right? Whatever the greatest day you had in this so-called life now is going to be that times 77, man. Times 7. You're not even going to believe that you're in the chariot. We're going to read about that. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 126 and verse 1. When the Lord returned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dreamed. Then was our mouth filled with laughter and our tongue with singing.
See that?
You in that chariot, you're not going to know what happened, man. It's going to be like you having a delusion. We're not in captivity. I don't have to go to work. I don't have to worry about Jacob's trouble. No, it's what? I'm not in the damn FEMA camp. Where is Esau? Jake, you're not going to ask about Esau on that day, man. You're going to see the angel lean back, riding in the chariot. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to call you by your Hebrew name when you've been there. You might say, look, take over the wheel, man. You kind of getting that thing, and you put your little thing going. You kind of look. Now we gotta go pick up this brother. Now y'all go to damn Atlanta. You press the button. Now it may not be all that, but you're gonna get beamed up in the chariot, man. And you're gonna rejoice. All right. But then stuff like that should excite you, man. The brother joking. So scoffers get. Like we read about in Ezekiel, where the spirit of the angel went, so did their wills.
That's right.
But reading on, like there you go. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 126 and verse 1. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream, like the brothers gonna be like a damn dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter. We're gonna be laughing up there, man.
Right.
We're gonna be happy as hell, Lord willing.
Right.
We're gonna be looking down, right? Yeah, yup. We're gonna be destroyed, man.
That's right.
It said, with our tongue was singing and said, there are the heathen, the Lord have done great things among them.
That's right. Yeah, we keep going.
The Lord have done great things for us, whereof we are glad. So even a heathen, though, man, the Lord did great things for them, man. They was doing all of that preaching, and it finally came to pass. Damn, I can't stand the Most High, huh? Right? They gonna know that, man. Like I said, they're gonna be trying to throw rocks at the chariots, trying to shoot it with their little bullets, man. Come back down here. Where are you going? It's over, man. It's too late. We in the chariot, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, the Lord have done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Let's go on. Turn again our captivity, O Lord, as the streams in the south, that the soul and tears shall reap in joy. Yeah, right now we plant tears. Brothers be crying. You can't pay your rent. I can't pay my bills. Women talking about, I don't know what to do. I got 5 kids, and you crying, and you know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on, man. So you're sowing tears, but you're going to reap that joy, man. A lot of people think you're going to sow tears and then reap the fruits of damn depression and wickedness, man. Just because you sow tears in his kingdom don't mean the fruit of it is going to be off or on the left-hand side. The fruit is going to be righteous of the tears you sow in sorrow, man. The Lord said, they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Right, and it's a quick precept on that. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying. There's not going to be no more crying in the kingdom.
Right.
The Lord said it, man. You're not going. What you going to have a reason to cry for, man? All you're gonna have is joy, everlasting life, immortality, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You're not gonna have that emotion to be able to break down and cry, because there's not gonna be no more sorrows. What do we cry for? Right, when we late on rent, right? All hell breaking loose, man. People trying to jump you. Why you got that color on? All hell be breaking loose, man. Oppression from our people and the so-called white man, right? Neither sorrow nor crying, neither should there be any more pain. So you're not gonna be able to trip down the steps, or should I say, in the middle of the night, get something to drink and stomp your big toe on the corner of the damn bed. Right. That's not gonna happen. But the former things are passed away.
That's right. You go.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 126, and verse number 5 again. They shall sow in tears, shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing.
Yeah, we going about bearing precious seed of damn tears, man. We don't know what's happening, man. That's a depressing life. The Lord said, yeah, you doing that, but you're going to come back with joy. All right, let's go to Psalms chapter Isaiah 65 and 17. I'll read it. Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 17. All right. It reads, for behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. So you're not going to remember your old sins in that chariot, man. Right? You're not going to worry about, well, I don't know what to do. I got to pay my car insurance. And then if I pay my car insurance, then I won't have enough money to be able to do this. All that stuff is going to be done away with, man. You're not going to worry about damn clothes and food on the table. All that stuff is over with, man. The former things shall not be remembered nor come into mind. There's one more on that. It reads, but be ye glad and rejoice forever, and that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. Where you ain't gonna even see tears among our people. That's gonna be like you might see the heathen cry. What's that? Oh yeah, that's tears. That's tears. That's what they got to deal with. They gotta cry. They gotta feel pain. You ain't gonna have to. You're gonna be so far in the kingdom, like 1,050 years. But what's tears? They gotta deal with that.
And that's how you know on a deeper level that you could beat the heathen, man, and not feel no type of way about it, man. Thus saith the Lord. You're not gonna have no emotions to cry. Right. So when you chastise them and whip them, man, hey, that's what the Lord want, man.
Yeah, because a lot of jakes you worry about that.
It's so rude. Yeah, I gotta beat. I don't know why y'all being so mean to the heathen, right? I really don't want to beat the heathen like that. You can do that, but I want to teach to be a light to them, right? So we're gonna beat the heathen in the kingdom of heaven, man. Right. That's written, man. Yeah, we ain't gonna think twice about it, man. Right? We ain't gonna sit there like, well, do I beat him? Do I not? No, that's gonna be our first instinct, man.
Right. No putting Esau on timeout, man. Right. You're not gonna be putting Esau on timeout.
And no letting Esau in your house in the kingdom of heaven. Well, I just want to show him around. No, you're not showing him around, man. Hey, Joe, man, let me get that with Joe, man. Joe saying when him run his damn dogs, man. Right. So they damn sure ain't coming in the house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're not going to be a coon in the kingdom. See, that's off.
Right?
No house neither.
He just standing at the door, spirit.
Right.
All right. It's the book of Job, right? Chapter 30 and verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have been derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Hey, Job says straight up and down, man, the Edomites, he would have put them out back with the dogs in the back. Right. Now the dog kind of tied up with that damn fence. He can't go past damn 3 feet. That's how we're gonna have Esau tied up, man. Right. But going back into this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 9. The thought of foolishness is sin. So you're not gonna be thinking about, damn, my mom didn't make it. That's the thought of foolishness, man. Old things are past. It's done, man. We're gonna be in the church. We're gonna be in everlasting life. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. She's not gonna be thinking about all of these sorrows of life that you used to have, man. Right? If your mother didn't make it, you're not gonna cry about it in the kingdom. Your father didn't make it, you're not gonna cry about it in the kingdom, man.
Right? Because you're gonna know they coming back.
Right. They ain't gonna sit there. Well, I don't know. Are they in hell? No, you ain't gonna get all that, man. Right now, you're gonna be in that chariot. Let's get Zephaniah 3 and 14.
right? We're gonna make it out of here, man. This place about to go down the drain, man. Right? And we believe that and we know it. Man. We don't say, well, I don't know, man. The Lord did say it, but you think the Lord gonna change his mind? Well, I don't know, man. It seems like this place gonna keep it. We're not thinking like that, man. This place, the grinding is getting lower, man. The candle is flickering, man. And the sun about to set on this place.
That's right. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and verse 14. Right? Book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and verse 14. And it reads, Sing, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. The Lord have taken away thy judgments. He have cast out thine enemy. The King of Israel, even the Lord, is in the midst of thee. Thou shalt not see evil anymore.
Keep on.
And that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, Fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save, he will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, of whom the reproach of was a burden. Behold, at that time I will do unto all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven away, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. At that time I will bring you again, even in the time that I gathered you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all the people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord.
You see that? That's what the Lord said, man. We don't have to break that down, right? That should hit your spirit, man. We don't got to sit there and do an in-depth breakdown on that, man. Everybody understands what the Lord is telling you, man. Right?
And I want to touch on one point of that. Verse 19 says, Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get thee praise and fame in every land. So they gonna know who you are, man. When they say they pulling on your skirt saying, take me to Jerusalem, they bowing down into you, these heathens gonna know you, man. Right? It's gonna look like you glowing, right, on a deeper level. You a king walking this earth, and they gonna finally know that. Because they're gonna know the commandments, because we're gonna teach it to them. They're gonna bow down to us.
That's right. That's right. Like it's in Isaiah 61, they're gonna call you priest and king. They're not gonna call you nigga, man. They're not gonna eyeball you. When they see you, they're gonna bow down before you instantly, man. Here comes King of Rock, boom, and just bow down. Right? And they're gonna say, get up. Right? And then they're gonna have their head down. I was just wondering. Shut up! Ain't no wondering, man. Right? That's how it's gonna be, man. I had this idea. Ain't no ideas, Esau.
God.
What you think about this? You know, you be at your so-called job getting something done, and Esau come and try to show you something, man. Or if you really do it this way, then no, I ain't doing none of that, man.
Ain't no team player spirit.
Yeah, man. Come on now. Hey, I got this idea. If you really do this, I saw you was driving that chariot, King Rod. And if you hit the gas, it ain't gonna be like that, man. Yeah, slap, kind of put your hands on it, man. Well, you know, most are willing, man. Right? So let's go back to that. All right, now we in the chariot, but then what's gonna happen after that? We're gonna get beamed back down. Not gonna be in the chariot forever. The kingdom of heaven is not gonna be in the sky. It's not just gonna be us in the chariots racing and speed racer. You got a bed in the chariot. Yeah, the damn Jetsons, man. They had chariots in the Jetsons, man. I just thought about that. Drop Elroy off, man. He got beamed down in the chariot. You know, let's go to what you got.
I don't know if you want to hit this one.
You can hit it.
Come. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, right? Chapter 15, right? And I'm gonna start at I'm gonna get straight to the point. I'm gonna start at verse 51. It said, Behold, I will shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. Right? So the last trumpet, when that blow and we get beamed up, we're gonna change in the air. Right? For the trumpet shall sound, at the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So you're not gonna have the same, you're not gonna have this body you have now in the chariot. You're not going to be able to feel pain. Your body is going to change in the air, right? It says, let me get that in verse 50 real fast. It say, now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption. Going down to verse 51. So when this corruptible have put on incorruption, and this mortal have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that it is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. So the Lord just told you straight up and down, we're not going to die in the kingdom. You got a lot of people with caps saying that we're going to die in the kingdom, and they can't prove that in the scriptures. There's multiple precepts you can go to that validates what the Lord just said, man. Right? What do you die from? You die from sin. So if that's going to get swallowed up, right, you're not going to be able to sin. You're going to have an immortal body, right? Then how you going to die? That's right. That's right. And that's going to be when you get beamed up, and then you're in the wilderness, and you get the laws in your inward parts. Right. All right. So let's go to that in Ezekiel chapter 20. All right. So we went from the destruction of America to getting beamed up in the chariot and rejoicing. You're going to get beamed back down in the wilderness of the people. Right? You're not just going to get beamed down in front of your mansion and it says your name, King so-and-so, King Micah right there. The kingdom already built and fell out the sky. You got 45 Edomites just bowing down. You come down, the angel put the gold on you, and you just walk down, kingdom of heaven. No, it's going to take time. They're going to have to build it up. You have to beat them down. You have to learn. I mean, you have to get the laws in your inward parts. Yahweh Shah is going to have to put everybody in a respective order. Look, y'all are the 12 apostles. Peter, John, stand up. Me, Peter, John. Yes, stand up. Then you're going to stand up. Right? Then you're going to call the other 12. Nathaniel, Thomas, y'all get up. Here's your thrones. Right? Then you're sitting on your throne. You are the 12 apostles. Abraham going to get up. He's going to have the little glasses on. Me? You know what I'm saying? Like the nerd. Yeah, Abraham, get up, man. You know, it's going to be, that's how it's going to be, man. You know, hey, Sarah, Rachel, Rebecca, so-and-so. Everybody's going to know who they are, man. But I don't want to jump the gun. Let's go to Ezekiel 20 and 33. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20 and verse 33. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out, I will rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and I will gather you out of the countries wherein you were scattered with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and will plead with you face to face. See that? The Lord is going to put you in the wilderness. He's going to plead with you face to face. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and 12. Meaning face to face, meaning you're going to see Yahweh Shah. Like our father saw Moses face to face in the first wilderness as the first mediator, you're going to see Yahweh Shah as the second mediator in the wilderness face to face. Right? You have to deal with these things, man. 1 Corinthians 13 and 12. Let's show you face to face. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly. You know, we don't understand everything. Right? No man on earth knows how to break down all of the Bible perfect. Right. Right. Like he's the word. Right. It says, for now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Meaning we're going to know in that day face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as I am known. And you know you, man. You know when you're tired. You know when it's time to use the bathroom. Right? You know what you like to eat, what you don't like to eat. Right, you know what makes your skin irritated or whatever the case may be. Right, you want to know in that day even as you are known. Meaning the Lord is going to break down to you, or like the brother going into in the wilderness, man. That's right. You're going to see the Lord face to face, like the brother said. Right now you see the Lord, but it's like the brother went into it darkly. It's not really the Lord, but it is the Lord if you can understand. But this thing is going to become reality. The Bible's going to be, the word is going to become flesh again, man. And it's going to dwell amongst man like it did 2,000 years ago. That's in John. The word was flesh and it dwelt amongst us, man. So that this word that you're seeing is going to become flesh and blood, and you're going to see it in a glorified body. Let's go to Zechariah 12 and 10. Yeah, we're going to go back to that. All right. Let's go to, I'll read it. Zechariah chapter 12
in verse 10. Right? Yahushua will be in the wilderness. It's not going to be Moses again. We have to part the Atlantic Ocean. Then we have to go back around. We got to walk through the whole Atlantic Ocean to be in the wilderness, then get the laws and commandments again, like that. Right? It's different. Zechariah chapter 12 and 10. It reads, and I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications, and they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. So in the wilderness, you're going to see Yahushua, you're going to look upon him who we have pierced, because our fathers are the one that delivered them up. And that day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of Hadad-Raman and the valley of Megiddo, like when King Josiah died. But we did read in Revelation 21, it's going to be no more mourning, but that's after the wilderness, right? That's going to be after the wilderness. It reads, and the land shall mourn every family apart, the family of the house of David apart and their wives apart, the family of the house of Nathan apart and their wives apart, the family of the house of Levi apart and their wives apart, the family of Shemaiah apart and their wives apart, all the families that remain, every family apart and their wives apart. So you're going to see Yahushua, you're going to kind of have your head down. Like that, yeah, I was wicked, man. You know, you're going to that joy and that rejoicing, then you're going to be in the wilderness, like, man, that's the Lord, man. Can't believe I used to do this. Man, our fathers really delivered up the Lord, man. Hey, man, I can't believe it. You know, it's a shame, man. I was even in this truth and I'm still going off. Hey, man, I shouldn't even be here. You know. So let's go back to Ezekiel. So you're going to see the Lord and look upon him, man, face to face. And the Lord not going to be a nice guy to you. Hey, finally glad to meet you. No, look, it's go time. We got to get stuff in order, man. We got to get this show on the road.
And the Lord is not 5'5".
Right.
So when the Lord is looking down at you, and he's gonna be looking down at you, man.
Yeah.
You read about that second actress, he's gonna be taller than the rest of them.
That's right.
So the Lord gonna be taller than everybody in the wilderness. He's gonna be taller than everybody. So you ain't gonna be able to look down at the Lord and say, you know what? You know, I'm glad to be. You looking down at the Lord. Yeah. It's not gonna happen. The Lord gonna be looking down at everybody.
Right.
Right. There's no telling how tall the Lord is. Right. There's no telling.
Yeah, that would be off.
That would be off.
Damn. I had that before.
Kind of taller. To show you that the brothers went into about Yahushua being taller than all the rest. 2nd Ezra 2:43. 2nd Ezra 2:43. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of his heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. Right. So it said he's gonna be the one that set crowns. Who gonna set a crown upon your head? Yahushua, man. He gonna be taller than the rest, man. Right? Let me read that again. It says, in the midst of them was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So the Lord gonna literally look down upon you and put a crown on your head on a physical level.
That's right. That's right.
Let me go back to Ezekiel chapter 20 and verse number 36. It's the book of Ezekiel chapter 20 and verse 36. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, saith the Lord God.
Right.
And I will cause you to pass under the rod and will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
See that?
I will cause you to pass under the rod. Let's go to Leviticus 27 and 32. One of Yahushua's titles is what? The shepherd. And we're the sheep. So passing under the rod, meaning you're going to count the sheep into the sheepfold. These are the sheep that made it finally, right? Each shepherd counts the sheep at the end of their shift or at the end of the night. If you left out with 100 sheep and they going into the sheepfold, okay, 1, you count them, then he went into the sheepfold. 2, boom, you're making them pass under the rod. And if they enter into the sheepfold, they make it. They got caught out with a lion and a wolf, they ain't make it. Hey, it is what it is, right? Right, you lost me. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 27 and verse 32. And concerning the tribe, so like the tithe of the herd of the flock, even whatsoever passeth under the rod, the 10th shall be holy unto the Lord. See that? So shepherds will have a flock of sheep, and you will give a 10th unto the Lord. All right, just dealing with a particular account or statute with a law
But the point I wanted is the concept of passing under the rod. All right. So the Lord is going to cause the sheep to pass under the rod and bring them to the bond of the covenant. That new covenant is going to be given to you in the wilderness. All right. We're reading about that right there. And let's go to Hebrews 8:8. You're not going to get the new covenant in your inward part as soon as you're beamed up in the chariot. It's not going to work like that. In the wilderness, he's going to cause you to pass under the rod. And if you kind of go through the whole procedure, then you're going to have the law, you're going to get the laws in your inward parts. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 8 and verse 8. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with them in the house, with the house of Israel, after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws in their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. Plain upon saying, con. So the Lord, what he's saying is he's going to program you to be righteous automatically. All right. You're not going to be able to go off in the kingdom of heaven. You're not going to be able to think about sin. You're not going to lust after another man's wife. You're not going to think about stealing. You're going to be automatically righteous, man. Automatically. As much as when you sneeze, you automatically blink. You have involuntary muscles like your lungs and your heart. They move. You don't even tell it. It just happens. Right? That's how you're going to be righteous in the kingdom of heaven. Or it's Passover. Let's go. You're going to show up on time. I want to be late in the kingdom of heaven. Huh? No color people time. Right? Well, you ain't going to show up late to the feast day. Everybody's going to be there on time. Everybody's going to have what they need. You're going to have, you ain't going to, oh, I left my fringes at home. No, you ain't leave your fringes at home. You're going to be perfect. And you're not going to be a robot. You're going to be zealous to do these things. Right. You're going to be on fire and ready to serve the Lord, man. That's right. Diligently at all times. That's right. I got precept. Con. It's like it's Deuteronomy. It's like Jeremiah. Right. This Jeremiah. What I want. Bear with me. Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 38. 37. I'm set at 37. Jeremiah 32 and 37. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I have driven them in mine anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath. And I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. And I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them. You see that? And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. So that's another precept. The Lord is going to put the fear of the Most High in your heart. You're going to take away that you're feeling rebellious at times. I feel like doing you ain't going to feel like doing your own thing. It's going to be one way, which is Yahweh Shai. Everybody's going to be made in the image of Yahweh Shai.
It's like the destruction of the world. Like, I know it's for the heathens, the judgment and all that, right? It's the destruction of the world. Like, even the ones that get left here, right? They die. We know they're gonna be reborn into the kingdom, right? But it's that destruction and the panic and the turmoil. Could that, in a sense, be a way, like in the kingdom? I'm not going off because I remember that. I remember the screams. I remember my people melting. I remember the heathen's judgment. I'm not going through that. In a sense, is that like?
In a sense, but you also not going to remember it in great detail. Okay. The Lord said the former things are passed away. But, in this time in the wilderness, you're still going to have these emotions. You're still going to have some emotional attachment to, what you did. We read that you're going to look upon the Lord and kind of mourn, kind of have your head down, Now let's yeah, something else, King. Let's go to Ezekiel 11 real quick. Ezekiel 11, right? So when the Lord says he's going to cause us to enter into the bond of the covenant, speaking about the laws being in your inward parts. Ezekiel chapter 11 and verse 17. Ezekiel chapter 11 and 17. Therefore say, thus said the Lord God, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where ye have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel. And they shall come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abominations thereof from thence. And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you. You see that? And I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them a heart of flesh, that they may walk in my statutes and keep my ordinances and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. So the Lord is going to give us shalom. So the Lord is going to put us a new spirit and a new heart, man. Automatically righteous. So let's go back to that in Ezekiel chapter 20 and cause us to pass under the rod. Let's read that verse again. The bond of the covenant. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, right? And verse number 37. And it reads, and I will cause you to pass under the rod, and will bring you into the bond of the covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels. Read that again. Verse 38. Come. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. See that? The Lord going to purge out the rebels in the wilderness, right? You're going to have rebels in the wilderness. Ezekiel 20 and 38, right? Yeah, brothers, and the Lord going to put it on their spirit to be like, yeah, all right, well, you know, all right, I got this plan, right? Now you may see, well, why would the Lord got to make an example? He made an example in the first wilderness. Why would the Lord bring out all of the Israelites and just make them go off in the wilderness and kill them? They could prove them and know them. That's in Deuteronomy the 8th chapter, whether they will keep my commandments or no. The Lord didn't have to do that. He could have brought them out the wilderness and just put them in the promised land. There you go. You don't have to kill no Canaanites. I'm gonna send the chariots and just destroy them. You know, then I'm gonna have you get slaves to bury the bodies. You sit back and relax and just enter to the promised land. It ain't never that easy, man. It ain't never gonna be that easy. And it's the book of Numbers, chapter 14 and verse 1. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God that we had died in the wilderness? So they were murmuring, man, and being rebellious in the wilderness, even though the Lord saved them with a mighty hand, right, and saved them, right? Just like the brother bringing out in the second wilderness, you're going to have some rebelling and murmuring too. It's going to be them same murmuring spirits, them same rebellious spirits. Yeah, the Lord brought them out. He saved them out of Egypt. But he put a spirit on them to go off, man, and do their own thing. Again, just to be making an example of what happens when you don't believe. See that in the book of Hebrews, that they're an example of unbelief. So when you're in the wilderness, yeah, you made it out of this thing, but we don't know, man, if you're going to kind of go through the whole program, right? So that's according to the will of the Lord. He's going to purge out the rebels and them that transgress against him. They're not going to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Yes, I know. So this thing gets serious, man. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 17. And he that have an ear, let him hear. Like the brother was bringing out earlier, right? The Lord going to let you know that hidden man of who you are back on the earth, man. Well, like you said, that may be Abraham right there, right? Hey, that could be Peter right there. And the Lord going to let you know these things. Now, a part of that hidden manna in the second wilderness, that may bug you out, man. The Lord might tell you some things that you rebel against and be like, that can't be true. It's kind of too high for you. You start tripping, man. It said, and he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, that no man knoweth, saith he that received it, man. So the Lord going to let you know, like it says, we see through a glass darkly, but in that day we're going to know even as we are known. So the Lord going to break down things we never knew,
right? It may tell you how many times you've been on the earth. It may tell you each life who you was. There's no telling what that hidden manna is going to be, man. The uttermost parts of the earth, right? Right. The Lord could play like a damn screen and show you, you know what I'm saying, certain things, man. You know, show you, like he said, your life back on the earth here. Let me show you the creation in Genesis 1, right? And then he show you the creation and you see everything, right? The Lord showed you the 10 plagues of Egypt, right? Lord, again, like you say, he lets you know who you are back on the earth, you know, what kind of spirit you in, what your real heat, what the Most High named your spirit. Because the Most High named everything, man. So he got a name for all of our spirits, man. He named all of the spirits in the heavens. Right, so the Most High is going to reveal all that to you in the wilderness, man. Right, and there's no telling what my name. My name is not Ariah in the heavens. Right. You know, your name is not Micah in the heavens. Right, it's no telling. Like the Lord said, He's going to give you that new name. Right, we can go to it. Come on, let's go back. I want to go to the book of Psalm 72 and 9. Let's go to Psalm 72 and 9. And there's no telling how long that wilderness is going to last. There's no account. Right. 72 and 9. Come on. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 72 and verse 9. They that dwell in the wilderness shall bow before him, and his enemies shall lick the dust. So we're going to bow before Yahweh Shah in the wilderness. When the Lord walking through, you're not going to be dapping him up, man. You know, what up, though? You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Yahweh Shah? Is it okay if I call you so? No, man. You ain't going to put no nicknames on the Lord, man. What up, King? What's up, King? No, that's the Lord. That's the Most High Son, Yahweh Shah. Right? So again, Yahweh Shah is going to be in that wilderness and we're going to bow before him. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 35, verse 1. The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose, and it shall blossom abundantly and rejoice even with joy and singing. And the glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, and the excellency of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord and the excellency of God. So they're going to see, like we're going into, we're going to see the Lord in the wilderness. Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are fearful heart, be strong and fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even God with a recompense, and he will come and save you. The eyes of the blind shall be open, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, right? Because we're going to have new bodies, man. You're going to have some Jake, they get beamed up, they're going to be in wheelchairs. They're going to be on damn respirator pumps in the damn hospitals. Hey, in that day, man, our body's going to change. And that blind man, that man that's deaf, the man that's lame, and you may have a broken damn rib, man. Right? You got elders in the building going hard for the Lord that's lame in this thing, man. Right. And they're going to shout for joy in the wilderness, Lord willing. And it says what? Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the deaf dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out and streams in the desert, meaning that knowledge. That's right. That's right. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 13. I'm not going to read the whole chapter. Right when you read the beginning of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, it goes into the destruction that Yahweh Shah is coming with. But I want to jump down to verse 25. I'm gonna start at 20. Let's see. Bear with me. 24. 2nd Ezra 13 and 24. Know this, therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they which be dead. You have people that's left behind that's still going to be on the earth. Talking about the people in the wilderness. This is the meaning of the vision, whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea. The same is he whom the Most High, the highest, hath kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and they're going to deliver the elect. And he shall order them that are left behind. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 40. Bear with me. 48. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. Now when he destroyed the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain, and then shall he show them great wonders. So you're going to have people, when you read this account, that's going to be in that land when the Lord comes down from the chariot. Right? Let me get that in verse
12. Afterward I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. And there came, so in the Lord, he's going to call people when he comes down from the mountain, meaning from the chariot. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and some brought of them that were offered. Then I was sick with great fear. I awaked and said, you see that? So people going to be in the wilderness when the Lord get down from his chariot. All right, because the other chariots are going to beam us back down. The Lord is going to come down and get things in order. He's going to order the people that are left behind. All right, that's right. Let's go to the book of Zechariah 14:1. So we're going to be given again the hidden manna. You're going to be given your position in the kingdom, right? Not every brother's going to have the same position, right? This brother may be an officer of 50 in the kingdom, right? You may have a brother, he may just be, the doorkeeper. He may just be the doorkeeper. Now, that's not bad. You're in the kingdom, right? But you may not be one of the 144,000. You might have been the last one of the 1/3. The most I said, come on, just get in here, man.
Pull him by your ear.
Yeah, and now you in here, man. You got your little piece of land.
Yep.
You got your little Moabite, one slave. You got a small whip. You understand? And sometimes he buck up against you, like you say, man.
Big fat Moabite.
Yeah, sometimes he always got something to say. Right? So that may be your lot. Then you may have the brother that has 10 cities, man. Right? And he got them, he's watching over them, his throne, build the cities. Very good, very good. No, I want that over there. No. You go over there. Then he got his 70 wives that come up and say, Adawan, do you need anything? And then he says, yes, I do. And then he kind of tell him what he needs, man. Yeah. And they don't get an attitude about it either, man. Right? Say 70 wives, dude. Hey,
God.
That's the number of completion. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse number 1, right? Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. Because then the Lord going to give us a decree to put down these nations, man. We're going to be given a decree to put the nations in slavery. They're not just going to put themselves in chains. Say, oh, well, here come the Israelites. Let's put ourselves in chains and go to Jerusalem. No, we're going to have to round them up, right? For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to the battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses raffled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity. See that? So we're going to rifle houses. I mean, let's say what it say. We don't sugarcoat. It say you're going to ravish the wives, rifle houses, and take half of them into captivity, man. It might leave the other half over there, man. You know what I'm saying? To kind of build up the land or whatever. But you're going to take half the city to be hardcore slaves. And you're not going to ask them, do you want to be a hardcore slave? If you rifle in the house, what does that mean? You going through it, taking what you want, man. You flipping over tables, kicking stuff down. Somebody say, no, kind of, get out the way, man. Kind of hit them in the back of the head. You take what you want, man.
Like when the police do a drug raid, man.
Right?
They kick down the door, they get the flipping mattresses, man. I know you seen Training Day.
Yep.
Right? He raided the hell out of that house.
That's right. Right. So we're gonna be doing that to the heathen, man. They do that to us. We're gonna start rifling their houses, man. Right. We're gonna go from house to house and take what we want. Gold, silver, it's ours anyway, man. Taking Ezekiel chapter 39 and 9 on down, we're gonna rob them. Let's get that Ezekiel 39. We're gonna rob them, man. That's what the Lord said. You mean the Bible says you're gonna rob? Yeah, I wouldn't say that. No, you don't know the Lord, man. Y'all don't know the Most High, man. Most High said we're gonna rob them that robbed us, man. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 39 and verse 10. So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoil them, and rob those that rob them, saith the Lord God. We're going to be robbing the heathen, huh? Now, we're not going to have ski masks on, and all black, and the damn guns, and the switchblades. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be scared.
Right, with hoodies on.
Yeah, just cough up the dough. You know, like a scared bank robber, man. Yeah. Just cough it up, the gun shake. We're not going to be like that, man. We're going to have glorious garments on. We're going to flow down. Kick down the door, man, and take what we want, huh? Right?
Straight up.
You have to kill the man, you might take his woman captive, man. You know, that's in the Bible, man.
Yeah.
That's the law in Deuteronomy
That's the law.
21. I know a lot of people are getting uneasy now.
See that?
They're getting uneasy because these things may be grievous. Now, this is the law, man. You got to deal with it.
And like the brother said, it's already from old how the Lord getting down, man. The Lord don't change, right? This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 21 and verse 10. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God have delivered them into thine hands, and thou shalt take them captive, then seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and has desire unto her to be Salakia, her that thou wouldest to have her to wife, then thou shalt bring her home. It said bring her home. Are we gonna ask her nicely and just follow me? Are we gonna grab her up, man?
Now, she could be fighting it.
Right? She gonna be fighting it. She gonna be fighting. You probably just killed her father, just killed her brother, her grandfather, probably lifted up his head and kind of threw it. Said, you coming now too. Right? Just witness her whole family line get slaughtered, man. It said, and has the desire unto her that thou wouldest have her to wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, meaning be humbled unto you, man. Straight like that. And that's in the law.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So that, you'll be able to do these things in the kingdom, and you're not going to be emotional about it. A lot of Jake, you're emotional about it right now. I don't want to rifle houses. I just want to stay behind and watch the stuff. Right? I want to be I don't want to stay behind and watch this stuff, man. I want to let me get this in Jeremiah 48, man. That brother want to stay behind that cat and just kind of watch the belongings. Ain't gonna be no need to watch the belongings, man. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to hold the torch.
Yeah, brother. Brother, you sitting there rifling the house, brother. Ooh, brother sitting there making faces while you rifling the house, man. Sitting there, I don't know about that one. No, everybody gonna be excited, man. The Lord said in Zechariah 9, we're gonna make a noise like the wine. We're gonna be turning up, huh? Brother, look what I got, brother. Look what I got. You want to bring this? Yeah, look what I got. Yeah. Snatch that heathen one by the head. Look what I got, man. She said, "Yeah, I got this, man." Brother's gonna be turning up, man. You know this. Jeremiah chapter 48 and verse 10. Right, Jeremiah chapter 48 and 10. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. So if you keep back your sword from blood, you a cursed man. If you say, I don't want to pull my sword out and kill people with it in the day of the Lord, then the Lord not dealing with you. Yeah, you're cursed, man. And you're going to get destroyed, man. You got to be with the Lord wholeheartedly, man. And the angel's going to be in this thing, man. That's Zechariah 9. The Lord is going to be seen over us and shall blow the trumpet with the whirlwinds of the south, man. Right? So these things are going to happen, man. Rather you ravish your woman, bring her back, you steal some gold, you're going to spoil them and rob them, man. Right? Let's get that.
Let me get this rule.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 11. If thou forbear to deliver them that are drawn unto death, and those that are ready to be slain, if thou sayest, behold, we knew it not, doeth not he punish the hearts considerate, and he that keepeth thy soul, doeth he not know it, and show he not render unto every man according to his works. So the Lord not dealing with a damn man that's scared to go to war, man. Man is scared to lift up the sword. Right? I forbear to know it. I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. And the Lord not dealing with that man. He's going to render every man according to his works. Yeah, you got brothers say don't read that part of the Bible. Let's just stick to the topic. Don't go. Oh, don't read all of that. No, we're going to read it, man. We're going to read about babies getting dashed into stones. We're going to read about women getting ravished. They did this to our people, man. We're going to do it to them, man. Right? Let's go to Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 12. Right? Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 12. And this excites me, man. This is vengeance right here, man. This is pure, raw vengeance. Right? Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. So you kind of meditate on what we went through. Then the Lord say he's going to give them double what we went through. And we've been catching hell. I mean hell, huh? Still. Right, read the Maccabees, read Jacob's trouble. They're going to get double Jacob's trouble. They're going to get all of that, man. They're going to be in the ghettos. They're gonna literally be in the slums, man. They're gonna be a byword among the nations, man. They're gonna be a proverb. We're gonna have jokes about the Edomites, the Moabites. They're gonna have to go to slavery on ships, man. Right? You're gonna have brothers operating slave ships. How many you got for me today? Got 3 boys, got 2 so and so, right? And they're gonna do it through transactions, man. It's gonna be beautiful, man. Right? Verse 13. When I have bent the Zechariah 9 and 13. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow of Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. So that's Jacob against Esau. We're going to be like the sword of a mighty man. How many people did Joshua kill with his sword? Hundreds of thousands. David, hundreds of thousands. Gideon, hundreds of thousands. That's how much death we're going to cause. We're going to be as the sword of a mighty man. And the Lord shall be seen over them, and his arrow shall go forth as the lightning, and the Lord God shall blow the trumpet, and shall go with the whirlwinds of the south. We're going to have chariots over us too while we're doing this. And the Lord of hosts shall defend them, and they shall devour and subdue with sling stones, and they shall drink and make a noise as through wine, and they shall be filled like bowls and as the corners of the altar. See that? So the Lord said we're going to be making so much noise, it's going to be like we drinking wine. You know how Jake get when you drinking at a feast day. You get kind of loud, man. You're going to be screaming when you're taking down the heathen, man. Yelling at the top of your lungs, man. When you thrust them through, when you break that glass, man. And you're going to have spiritual power too, right? You're not going to get tired. You're not going to get uneasy. I did too much pillaging. No, we're going to do a lot of pillaging, man. The Lord going to have to calm us down and say, look, that's enough. And then we're going to gather all of our spoil, like we read in Zechariah 14. We're going to divide the spoil amongst the children of Israel. All right, this is a precept from Amos. This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 7. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. So all hell going to be breaking loose, man. That's the Lord's army right there. If you're not a man of the Lord, man, you're not going to be a man of war in this thing. All those men that just want to read Proverbs all day, right? Want to read Proverbs 31 just to get on a woman all day. Don't know no prophecies. Don't know what's going on. Ain't sharpening their sword. Not going into nothing. Them men not going to make it, man. It said they should not break their ranks. I mean, it's going to be order in this thing, man. Right? And let me bring this out too. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 40. And it said, thou hast also given me the necks of mine enemies. This is all in the Bible, man. You read about this in Genesis all the way to Revelation, man. You read about slavery in Genesis, man. You read about Yahushua in Genesis. You read about all these accounts all throughout the Bible, right? And it says what? I might destroy them that hate me. They cried, but there was none to save them. So the heathen going to be crying out to the Lord in that day, man. Right? There's going to be nobody to save. They're going to be screaming, wailing, bowing down, asking the Lord to save. It's not going to be nobody to save Esau, man. So they cried, but it was none to save them, even unto the Lord, but he answered them not. Then did I beat them, small as the dust before the wind. Hey, you know how much dust it is when you kind of grab some dust and go like that? And you're going to beat them that small in this thing. It's going to be blood everywhere, heads and arms and fingers and ears. Everything will be everywhere in that day, man. Right? It says what? They cried, Salakia. Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt in the streets. Thou hast delivered me from the stridings of the people, and thou hast made me the head of the heathen. A people who have not known me shall serve me. So it said, a people that have not known me shall serve me, man. Right? That damn Edomite, that's the corporate one that's working for your company that don't know you, man. You one of his so-called workers, he's going to serve you, man. Right? Damn Jacob pressing you at the precinct, right? The damn police, he going to serve you, man. All of these Edomites that never knew you or seen you going to bow down when they see you. It says, as soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. Like, come here, boy. They just going to be trotting along like a damn horse. Right? As soon as you say, hey, stop where you are, they're going to stop. Right? Like a child, man. You tell a child to sit down, like you tell a dog to roll over. That's how you're going to be treating the heathen, man. It says, what? As soon as they hear me, they shall obey me. The strangers shall submit themselves unto me. The strangers shall fade away and be afraid out of their closed spaces. See that? So it's going to be an utter bloodbath like the brother's going into, man. It's going to be a massacre, man. The Lord said, then I'll break them in pieces, man. Like a vessel of a potter shall they be broken in shivers. All right, let me get this in Zechariah chapter 12 and 2. Right? Zechariah chapter 12 and 2. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem. So they're going to try to take this down, man. Right? Like Pharaoh tried to kind of take this down when we left Egypt. These heathen, they're going to be like, look, no, they're not getting away, man. We're going to kind of put a siege on. Verse 3. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. Again, you're going to be chopping off heads, throwing swords. You may have a battle axe, little daggers. You might want a baseball bat, that little, what's that ball with the chain on it? Right? The mace, they call it. You're going to be sitting there, you know what I'm saying, kind of throw it at somebody's back and then kind of pick it up. It's going to be like the movie 300 times 7, man.
Ripping out they flush with that joint.
Yeah, it's going like brothers play Mortal Kombat. You see the fatalities. That's how it's going to be, man. Yeah. You're going to be doing all types of finishing moves. Everybody will have a finisher move, right? And it's going to be 144,000 finishers, right? You know, reading on verse 5, and it's going to be in order. 2, let me say, it's not going to be like you see Jake out in the damn streets riding. People just picking up stuff. You're going to have captains of 50s, captains of 100s, captains of thousands. You're going to be marching, and you're going to do it all in order, huh? They're going to have, brother, give me that. No, I found it first. No, it's mine. Ain't going to be no brother fighting over, stuff, man. Everything will be done decently and in order, man. That's how the Most High's army get down, right? Reading on. And the governors, because you're going to have governors that were already set up before this battle occurred in the wilderness. I'm going to make this brother, you're going to be the governor of this city. You're going to be the governor of Bethlehem. Brother's going to have rank, man, in that thing, man, right? The inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, and the Lord of hosts their God. And that day will I make the governors of Judah like an hearth of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in the sheep. And they shall devour all the people round about, on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. I'm going to jump down to verse Salakia. Verse 8. And that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. See that? So if you're a feeble brother, you're going to be like King David in that day, man. Every brother's going to be like King David. King David said, by my God have I leaped over a wall. You're going to be leaping. You're going to be like the hawk in the Avenger movie, just leaping. You in the air for 20 minutes, then you land and go through an Edomite house and snatch off the roof. It's going to be wild in that day, man. They're going to be trying to throw stuff at you. It's going to be bouncing off your chest. You're going to pop up in front of them. You're going to be toying with them, man. It's going to be a bloodbath in that day.
Come on.
Right, this is what the brother just said. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 29. For by thee have I run through a troop, and a troop is an army. So David said, man, by the Most High God alone, I ran through a whole army and killed thousands of men at one time, man. It says, and by my God have I leaped over a wall. There's no telling how high this damn wall was, right? I'm led to believe it was 20 feet or higher, man. Right, because hey, you see so-called Jake in the Olympics jumping over them big high walls on a mortal level, man. Right. How much more when the Lord with you jumping over buildings, man, like the brother said, man. And that's literally going to happen. Right, let me get that in Joshua. That's right. It's the book of Joshua, right? Chapter 23 and verse number 10. 1 man of you shall chase 1,000. And that's going to happen, man. Yeah. When they see this brother right there, they're going to flee, man. 1,000 men are going to run, man. Like you sitting there, got a tank with a big old bomb about to bomb them. They see you, they're going to run and they're going to flee. But the Lord your God, he isn't that fighter for you as he had promised you. How much more on a physical level? Right, in slavery, Jake kind of saw a so-called master, right? And there was just one of him and it's 50 of us, and they kind of putting their head down. That's on a physical level, man. How much more when you got that spirit on you and the Lord is with you? That's literally going to be over 1,000 men. 1,000 is a number of completion. It's going to be cities fleeing and towns, man, when you step in the building. Yeah, it's going to be like the campaign of Jericho and all these cities that Joshua took over, man. We're gonna have a military campaign. We're gonna take down this city. They're gonna take down this city. They were gonna take down this city. They were gonna be up in Europe somewhere. Now we up in damn Finland. It's gonna be beautiful, man. You're gonna start in Jerusalem, then you're gonna march your way up around the different cities of the world. And let me go to Isaiah 24 and 21. Then after you beat them down, you're gonna put them all in the pit. See that? You're gonna have them like dig these massive prison camps out. You're gonna throw them in prison and set a few men over them, and then you're gonna have to go back, then bring them out those prisons and bring them back to Jerusalem on a trail of tears. All right, let me get that in Isaiah chapter 24. You see that? So they're gonna have to go on a new trail of tears, man. Isaiah chapter 24 and 21. It reads, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. All these rich elites, all these top so-called luminaries, this Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they all gonna be in slavery. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. So you see that? So there's going to be a huge new military campaign. The book of Joshua times 10. We're going to march from city to city, taking them down. Then burn it, set it on fire. Take this city down, burn it, set it on fire. And there are laws of war in Deuteronomy chapter 20. Right? But when you approach a city, how to take down a city, you're going to be leaping over a wall. And then after a large military campaign, we're going to bring all of the gold and spoils of war back to Jerusalem, and we're going to turn it up.
Right. And I want to touch on in 22, it says, and after many days should they be visited, man. We're not going to be sitting there bringing them food, right? Dessert, did you eat enough? You want some water? Right. They're going to be sitting down there, all hell going to be breaking loose. Right. Same way in those slave ships, we was under there, we was pissing on each other, all hell was breaking loose. They're going to be down there in them pit, wetting on themselves, man. Crying out, meaning it's going to be cold down there. They're going to be looking up. Hey, they're going to be like them, like a damn rat in a trap, man. Right. Just squealing, man. Right. Right. And it says, yeah, well, that's it on that. Yeah, it's gonna be disease, heat, stink. Yeah, it's gonna stink. They're gonna be getting on each other's nerves. They're gonna be thinking about a rebellion. Then one day you're gonna hear us snatch that damn door open, man. And that pit, they're gonna look with the light, they're gonna just snatch them up, throw shackles and chains on. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 20 real quick. Right, Isaiah 45 said they coming in chains, man. Right? Let me get this in Isaiah chapter 20. Because then we have to bring them back to Jerusalem, man. Right? Or bring them back to the to whatever land that you in. Isaiah 20 and 4. So shall the king of Assyria lead away the Egyptians prisoners. And we're going to lead away these new people prisoners. Right? And the Ethiopians captives. You're going to have Ethiopians, your captives too. Young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. See that? That's how your slaves gonna be, man. Naked and barefoot, man, in chains. And they gonna have their head down, man. They're not gonna have no designer clothes on, Armani suits, right? Joseph A. Bank. They're gonna be naked and barefoot, and they're gonna have their head down, you know, like a wild beast, man.
Right?
They're gonna literally go back to their first estate. They're going back to wild beasts in the cave, man.
They did that to us. We had to shave our head, they shaved our beard, shaved off the body hair, threw us in them little lime baths, and had us naked and in chains. And then we're gonna put them on the auction blocks, and we're gonna have to inspect them. We're gonna have to check they open their mouth. You know how they used to open our mouth and see our teeth and tell them to jump, and we're gonna, kind of see if they strong or not. Then we're gonna cast lots from, like I tell you in Nahum the 3rd chapter.
And when so-called athletes go to the draft, they make them coon around. Right. See how you could jump, boy? They kind of set the thing down, have a little, like damn horses, man. Like a dog show, how they had a dog do all of them things and see if it's a top good breed. That's what they do to Jake, man. Let's see how fast you can run, boy. Go. Right. And they be sitting up there in their little boxes and pointing. Look at number 2. Right, yeah, I bought number 2. He cost me about 200 grand. Right? That's how they do, man.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 14. Thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt and the merchandise of Ethiopia and the Sabians, men of stature.
So these men are going to be men of stature, right? It says what? Shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine, and shall come after thee in chains, and they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee, and they shall make supplications. So they're going to be crying. They'll be coming down in chains. It's not just the so-called white man. And the Lord, it's all these nations gonna be in chains, man. Every last one of them, right? Shall fall down into thee and make supplications. So they're gonna be crying, man. You know when you getting your ass whooped and then you got that man, so I'm sorry, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Right.
That's how they're gonna be. Saying, surely God is in thee. That's what they're gonna be saying when they making supplications. Surely God is in thee, and there is none else, and there is no God, man. Straight like that, man. That's all they're gonna know in that day, that you are the servant of the living God. Verily, thou art a God, and hidest thyself, O God of Israel, the Savior. See that? They gonna have black eyes, teeth gonna be missing out. It's gonna be a beautiful thing, man. You're gonna have your royal apparel on. You may want a horse, right? Like the movie Django, you had them in chains, naked and barefoot. You had Django on a horse, and don't look at me, boy. You know, that's how it's gonna be in the kingdom of heaven, man. This Psalm chapter 149 and 5. Psalm chapter 149 and 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. Right. You're going to get armed. Right? You're going to have a two-edged sword. Right? It's not for decoration. You're going to find out what it's for. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise the Lord. So it's going to be an honor to put them in slavery. Right now, it's an honor to be a nigga in the world, huh? To sell dope. You know what I'm saying? To maybe, you kind of get hemmed up. You did 15. Now that's an honor, man. You was on 15. The world has their concept of honor, but the Most High has the righteous concept of honor.
Right, I got my stripes spirit.
That's right, man. It's going to be an honor to do what? To put the so-called white man in captivity and slavery and physical chains. And the chains aren't going to be loose. It's going to be hard. It's going to be cutting into his flesh. They're going to have the little rings around it. They're going to be yoked up. It's going to be like the movie Apocalypto. Remember when they captured them, took them on that long trail back to their place? Right? That's how it's going to be, man. That's right. Oh, they damn nuts. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 24. Fodder, a wand, and burdens are for an ass, and bread, correction, and work for a servant. So Esau not going to be just in the backyard, kind of picking grapes in the hammock, right? Just in the damn shade, kind of just waiting on you to ring the bell to come, and he's going to come, man. He's going to be working all day long, man. Right. All day long from sun up to sun up. From sun up to sun up, he's going to be out there, man. Except on the Sabbath day. Verse 25. If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest. But if thou let him go idle, he shall seek liberty, man. So if you're not on your servants, they're going to just be idle in this thing. They're going to start rebelling. They're going to start being relaxed. They're going to say, man, you know what, man, we're going to rebel. Man. You know what I'm saying? He's sweet for real, for real. Next thing you know, they're going to, you know what I'm saying? They're going to try to escape, man, right? Reading on. It says, a yoke and a collar do bow down the neck. So are torches and torments for an evil servant, man. So the Lord said that's going to be justified, man, to torture them in the kingdom, to beat them to shreds. If they acting up, they're going to get beat down. You're not going to be sitting up there letting Esau backtalk you, and you just dealing with it, man. You a God walking the earth, man. So the Lord says straight up and down, torches and torments. Why your pastor not bringing this up? Why he don't know this scripture? Why he don't know these things, man? Set him to labor that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil. Set him to work as it is fit for him. So don't have your fattest damn Edomite trying to climb a tree, man. It's not profitable to get them grapes up there. Right. He's sitting up there trying to bear hug up the tree. You ain't never gonna get them grapes. Right? You got your so-called strong Edomite, he gonna be chopping wood all day. Right. You got the little scrawny one, he gonna be bringing me down yon all day, man. Right. Whatever the case may be. You gotta set them up according to that which they can do. Right? Reading on, it say, set him to work as it is fit for him. If he be not obedient, put on more heavy fetters. Meaning bow down his neck more and more if he don't want to listen to you, man. Yeah, that's it on that. See that? See what the scriptures say, man? A lot of brothers never read that before, man. Tortures and torments. God wouldn't allow that. We're reading about it in the Bible, man. Right? So when your Edomites are bucking up, you're going to kind of, look, I'll be back. Take 20 minutes, have a counsel, and then say, look, I got something for you, man. And then you kind of show them what time it is, man.
Now you got brothers out here saying that we're gonna put the 2/3 in captivity. We're not gonna put the 2/3 in slavery. That's a new doctrine in Israel, right? The 2/3, yeah, the brothers are saying that now. They out there teaching. They saying, look, if she don't get herself together, she going in chains, right? So a lot of brothers, they going into that now. That's the new thing. We're not putting our own people in captivity. All right. No, it's another congregation, right? So the thing is, we're gonna put the heathen in captivity. Our people are gonna be born back, but they're gonna be born righteous. Right. And with that, we're gonna close up, head the cap, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach, Ramalak Yahushai. Kwam Yashala. Kwam Yashala. Kwam Yashala. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.